Bungie just revealed their new shooter. This is Marathon, and it is actually releasing this year with an alpha test coming out very soon. Is this the next Halo? No, it's not. In fact, there is a lot of mixed reactions between what people are saying is aesthetically pleasing and cool looking and totally not Concord 2.0, but also like the gameplay looks incredibly generic. And I'm going to be sharing my first impressions from the gameplay reveal trailer as well as some other pieces of content Bungie has released. And I thought that I'd talk about this because they are being very liberal with putting the makers of Halo and Destiny. You know, we made Halo and Destiny. Did you? Did you? Is there anyone left at Bungie that made Halo 1 or 2 or 3? And let me know. Let me know, because I actually don't know, and I feel like there isn't, but whatever. This is something that someone said in the comments. It's Halo, but none of the reasons that, like, it's made by Halo, the creators of Halo, but it's for none of the reasons that we loved Halo, right? Now, the one thing I will say about this is that there are dynamic weather and events in the gameplay. So, what is the gameplay, right? It is a PvPvE extraction shooter. That means you and a few other teams run around this map or these maps with random events and weather, and you basically hunt down loot. You can lose loot to your enemies, which honestly sounds like rage bait, and essentially you can try to get out of there with as much loot as possible. It's going to be releasing here soon, September 23rd on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC with full cross-play and cross-save, so that's nice. There is no announcement of it being free to play, so hopefully microtransactions will be a little bit easy on us for this one. But quite frankly, this looks like a Destiny 2 mod. This person on Twitter said, "Marathon certainly looks like a video game," and that's what a lot of people are saying. Is that it just looks like a generic shooter. You know, it's 2025, and these games, how many of these kind of generic shooters can they make with no kind of true innovations besides just an edgy art style? Because you're going to have to do more than that at this point. We've seen a lot of really good looking games over the past decade. And quite frankly, I think people just kind of am over this kind of game. I mean, this looks a lot like Destiny. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Again, the aesthetic is way better than Concord. I know people are saying this looks like Concord 2.0 and it's going to fail because of the aesthetic, but that's not true. Concord had a 80s porno look to it. This has like a cyberpunk retro look to it, which is something, you know, special. But how long, maybe a few hours, maybe even a few days after playing that in this game, which clearly has a lot of reused animations from Destiny 2, is going to get boring eventually, right? I mean, I don't want to be too hypercritical, and you know, we haven't actually played the game ourselves. We will be able to soon, April 23rd. Apparently, if you join the Discord, you can get alpha tests. So we'll find out very soon if this game sucks or not. But the general impression is that, you know, okay, the art looks really great, but how is the gameplay? The gameplay is nothing too special. The fact is, it's going to have a battle pass. I think that was confirmed. Ugly designs, okay, but like really what matters is the gameplay. Okay, so that's what made Concord fail. I don't think it's going to be the next Concord, but this person said, if you're going to change the lore, the look, and the gameplay of Marathon, then just change the name. Why do we have to have completely gut IPs and self-insert your own world and abuse the original name? And they say Marathon's going to be peak because of the aesthetic. I really am convinced that that can only go so far. You can watch. I don't think the aesthetic really matters ultimately. If the aesthetic is bad, the game will fail, but the game looking cool is not going to carry the game. It really isn't. And again, a good example between the two, Marathon is going to flop like Concord. Look at Concord's designs, okay? Concord failed because it did something similar with the gameplay, I will say. Like, it just kind of looks like a generic hero shooter with really nothing special. And I'm going to share my impressions with the gameplay here in a moment because, you know, when I first saw this, I kind of see a little bit of Halo in there, but like ultimately maybe that's just like the first person stuff. What the thing that caught my eye or attention a little bit, I perked up a little bit, was dynamic weather and events. It's 2025. We want to see innovation in these kind of games, right? To just throw us on a map with some stranded enemies and loot, in my opinion, is incredibly generic at this point, incredibly lazy. And if you're going to do anything new, you got to add something that has procedural events into it, or some kind of element that makes the game special. Like that's what I think got me so excited about Destiny back in the day, was like public events or like random things happening. And for the time, it was kind of special to have unique things happen across the game, at random times. It was just fun, and I think that that needs to happen more in these games. And so the gameplay reveal trailer on YouTube in the comment section is getting kind of mixed slash negative, I'd say. This person said, I've played enough Destiny to recognize that Cabal jump. There's a lot of people talking about how it's clearly a lot of reused assets from Destiny, and it doesn't even really properly represent what Marathon was. I don't know much about Marathon from the 90s, the original franchise that Bungie worked on, but apparently it's not doing it justice. And that reused Titan Punch animation gave me such a good chuckle. I don't want to be a hater, but the only unique thing is the art direction. Exactly. That's what I'm seeing so far across the board, what people are saying. I'm having a hard time feeling any connection between this and OG Marathon. This is a gameplay reveal light. Exactly. Like the gameplay trailer here did not really do the gameplay revealing justice. What gameplay? It was just a cinematic marketing trailer, which honestly, I'm kind of surprised that people even still do this cinematic mark. I mean, I guess it kind of works a little bit, but I think all gamers have at one point in time in the past 20 years, maybe not young people, but I think everyone's been kind of screwed over by a hype cinematic trailer. Everyone knows it's just smoke and mirrors, and that's a lot of the times when the gameplay is out, it's buggy, it's incomplete. This is standard stuff, and I think there's a lot of anxiety. The whole gaming community, honestly, everyone that plays games is kind of just over microtransactions and battle passes and the gimmicky cinematic marketing trailers. Like, less and less people every time are falling for it, and less people, I think, are pre-ordering stuff because of that. Now, you can play this yourself on Alpha Test by joining the Discord, I think, which starts on April 23rd. And there are up to 18 players in a match, which is kind of cool, but again, it's just one of those things. I wish it was just more, and I wish the scope was more ambitious because, just another arena extraction shooter with little gimmicky things and probably the worst microtransactions we might see, or just keeping up with the status quo, $20 a skin, will probably be backed up by all this. And I'm just personally not interested in it if that is the case. And maybe I'm being hypercritical, hyper negative. I hope that it's a good game, and I hope that it is, branded in that way for a good reason other than just name alone, created by the same people that made Halo and Destiny. I don't know, but you guys let me know what you think about this. And a lot of people, I will say one more thing about the main trailer. You might find it, if you haven't seen it already, or if you've seen it, playing in this video, you will find that the trailer itself is very ADHD and all over the place. I don't know why they did this. It feels like they're trying to be edgy. Maybe it's a part of the marketing to get people's, excitement down, so when the game comes out, it's super epic. Is that a marketing strategy? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I'll catch you in the next one soon. Peace.